We are live. This is Travis from Carter Cal Capital, helping you fight for your financial freedom throughout the Forex market. This is another episode 292 of Trade with Travis. Hopefully, everybody's doing very well on this Wednesday morning. A lot of stuff ended up coming out for its news and everything else like that yesterday. We're going to end up talking about that, as well as being able to take a look at where the charts are and seeing what we can be able to do for being able to maximize our overall profits today. If you are watching live, let me know if you end up having a red day, a green day, or if you end up staying away. Red day means that you lost money yesterday. Green day means that you made money yesterday, and stay away means exactly what it means. Obviously, you stayed away from trading overall. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and go through the disclaimer. And once we end up getting the disclaimer straight out, then there we go. Once we end up getting everything situated with that, then after that we can go ahead and get rolling. Um, I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from the education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. I understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money, also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that you end up making money yesterday. It's not promised that you end up making money today. So, with that being said, I'm going to be off the screen today. A little bit under the weather. So I wanted to make sure that I end up getting everything else situated with everyone when it came down to the charts. So if you don't see me on the screen today, that's the reason why. I'm just trying to make sure that um, uh, I'm not face ready. I guess that's the best way of being able to say it when it comes down to the charts. But let's talk about what's happening today. If we go through, um, let's see, refresh this a little bit. Most of the news has already came out today. We end up having the interest rate decisions. They end up getting bumped up to 5.5% for the New Zealand dollar. We end up taking a look at what happened with the consumer price index. Consumer price index for the pound actually ended up being a pretty positive number. And then after that, we're going to end up having Fed Waller index week. And then after that, we're going to end up having FOMC meeting minutes a little bit later on today. So that's something to be able to pay attention to overall when we go down to the news. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and go into um, the charts and let's see what's happening overall when it comes down to these movements. United States dollar index, we talked about looking at being able to buy when the market ended up breaking off on the counter trend line break a little bit earlier. If you end up doing that, then quite frankly, you have been positive for the last couple of days. And that is something that we end up paying attention to overall based off of that counter trend line break 2 days ago. So we do have that movement, which is there. Now the question is, do we have an opportunity to be able to get in if you have not gotten in at that point? Remember, breaking above 12,920 was the number that we wanted to be able to do. And from there, we could have had some decent movement over the top. That's exactly where we are right now. The market ended up breaking above that number after falling back just a little bit, and it is moving towards the upside. So we know from a charting perspective, we are looking at buying on most U.S. dollar pairs, or we want to look at U.S. dollar strength on most U.S. based pairs. So let's keep that in mind as we go through and take a look at everything else. And take a look at what happened on oil. Oil was in a consolidated triangle. It broke out, it retested, and it has broken out again. If you are looking at being able to buy on oil, uh, this will probably end up being the time to be able to do it. But please keep in mind, these are nothing more than 1% trades or even a 0.5% trade because we're still in consolidation since the early portions of 2022 from a weekly perspective and from a daily perspective. Obviously, we're still inside of this consolidation box as a whole that's in yellow. So the trade that I'll look at being able to do if you are going to end up doing it would be buying, and it's basically buying back up to 82. Um, so you're talking about getting $8 of profit when it comes down to that movement to the upside. But that's the move that I would be looking at. I'm still off of oil until it ends up breaking out of this area. To me, I still think that you have a low percentage chance of being able to win, so we're not going to trade that. Taking a look at what's happening with gold. Gold has showed signs of consolidation, but what we're probably going to end up seeing is if the United States dollar is going to remain to be strong, then we're probably going to see this market fall to the downside. From a weekly perspective, remember it has hit the top of this overall price at 2070. It ended up doing it 3 weeks ago. Currently, right now, we take a look at what's happening with the daily. The daily is still inside of this consolidation box right here, in which I'm going to zoom into a little bit more and go into the 2 hour and kind of show it a little bit more. We're still in that area and it has not broken to the upside, but it has defined a consolidation spot, which is good. But more importantly, it has not broken out of that consolidation box to the upside, giving us a move that we can be able to pay attention to and feel comfortable with. Now, with the good news from the United States dollar yesterday, you would think that you'll have a little bit more movement to the downside. We had some of it, and then it quickly retraced. So today may end up being one of those days where, even though the United States dollar gained control yesterday, it may end up having a little bit of retracement back, at least when it comes down to the Japanese base pairs, and going from there. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. If we take a look at what's happened with Bitcoin, Bitcoin ended up falling yesterday. Currently, right now, it's getting close back down to that 26.5 number. If you did not get in at 26.5, I would look at being able to get back in at 26.5 again. Seeing that the market's going to fall down one more time. I don't know. It ended up having a low price at this point. The low was at 26.6, so this may be the lowest price that you may end up getting. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. I hope that you can be able to get that low price and actually be able to move with it, and then after that, kind of be able to make something off of it. But currently, right now, that's what we are when it comes down to pricing. I just wait and kind of see how this market kind of relaxes off of that. We take a look at the trades that we did take. There was one on US 30, and there was one. Well, the one that we ended up having was on US 30 mainly. Um, and we talked about this trade to the downside. We ended up talking about there's a major sale that we could be a part of as long as we end up taking advantage of this overall movement from this consolidation. And from there, currently right now we are in profit, which is good. We end up getting in on this sale right at 33,340. When the market fell, we had two trades, so we could be able to go. The first one ended up hitting profit right when it went through. It was about an 80-point move, and then after that, the second one we ended up saying it was going out to about 500 points. Currently, right now, the market is down, or currently the market has failed 400 points on this movement. For a lot of people, depending on how well you end up placing in your lot size, this one could be a game changer. This one could be a month changer for the overall movement to the downside. And I do expect that it's going to end up finally hitting this target at 32,800. The question is just how long it's going to take to be able to go there. Are we going to continue to see this market keep on falling and keep on going from there? The VWAP is basically bearish. The moving average is bearish. Uh, we look at what we just left from with the high volume node. The high volume node, um, we end up having that release in pricing. So we're looking at all of this unfair market pricing to the downside, which is great. And we just have to continue. If the market continues doing what it's doing, it will go back down to the overall low prices that we end up seeing from this consolidation box that end up happening in early December, going into January of 2023. So we'll probably fall back to the lows that we end up starting off with at the beginning of the morning. I mean, at the beginning of the year. Now, with that being said, um, if you have not got in, the question is, should you look at being able to get in at this point? The only way that you can be able to view that, I always say, is take a look at the 15 minute, take a look at the hour. We take a look at the hour. The hour is in the no trade zone, just for its overall movement and positioning. We can see that there was 2 hours ago, there was one strong low push to the upside, which ended up quickly getting rejected and falling back down. It has broken a new low. So I would say, yes, you can look at being able to trade to the downside. You just want to be able to find the right position to be able to get into. Um, I would not jump in right now. The reason why I would not jump in right now, because quite frankly, counter trend line break happened at 33.09. Currently, the market is at 33,940. So about 70 points ago that the market ended up doing it. We may see that this morning that the market may end up doing something like this, kind of consolidate just a little bit, and then after that, ultimately be able to fall down again and then complete the move. Um, if that does happen, that will be the thing that I would look for. I would look for either selling at the top of the resistance and being able to catch it at that point of movement with a quick, tight stop loss of up here, or I will look at being able to catch it when the market ends up breaking below at 32,920, and then after that, going after the rest of the pricing, which would be about 120 points to the downside. So either way, both of them are pretty good. The thing is, it's kind of relying on what you want to be able to do for us being able to get in. Last one, Nas 100. And this is another reason why I'm so patient when it comes down to moves on anything. Quite frankly, I can make the move that I want and be able to get into the move that I want. And all I got to do is just be patient about the movement and being able to go from there. Nas 100 ended up having the biggest drop. Not by points, but by percentage. We did not get into a trade after being able to hit this buy move to the upside. Since then, the market has double topped and started to reverse. But we did talk about this gap right here where the market could fall in from 13,788 and then fall all the way down to 13,420. So it may end up basically just retesting this overall bottom that we end up having based off of the buy trade. Um, and so if you're looking at being able to take advantage of a move like that, that would be the move that I would look at for us being able to get in, or still being able to take advantage of this large gap of overall high volume nodes. If anybody, if you are watching this for the first time, this is what I do, or this is the way that I personally end up trading. I love being able to take advantage of unfair market prices. And there goes your spot. We have this gap from here to here. Currently, right now, from this sell trade, the question would be, um, what is the next move? Let's look at this from a Fibonacci perspective and see what this market could fall down to, and then after that, we can kind of go from there. Um, there goes your A, here goes your B, there goes your C, there goes your D extension. D extension has already gotten hit. Um, let's try a new field. There goes your A, here goes your B. Market retraced back up to the 236, um, only fell down a little bit, which means that we have an 80-20 rule that's kind of in effect. If you're not familiar with an 80-20 rule, that means that if the market does not retrace to the 382 up to the second green bar, then what will end up happening is that the market will end up having a little bit of struggles right around the 127. The 127 on this one is right at the negative 382, which is at 13,607, which is also the last time that the market ended up having a little bit of a hesitation of consolidation right there. And so, and also, if you end up taking a look at what's happening with the nodes, you can see that there's a little bit of there probably will be a little bit of an order block right inside of that area, which matches up with what we're talking about and what we're seeing from this movement. So, more than likely, I'll probably end up looking at something around this area of where to get out at if I'm looking at being able to get in. Um, Now, I would not jump in right now. The only reason why I would not jump in is because, quite frankly, we don't have great value. The market's already done broken a counter trend line break and already done rejected off the VWAP twice. And if you did not get into those, then I will wait for a higher price to be able to get back in and be able to go from there. Um, Sir just said, "Hey, what are the setups on gold today?" Um, Good question. It's not many setups, in my personal opinion. Um, We talked about the one yesterday for us being able to get in, but essentially what I'm seeing is that the market is just in consolidation. I'm wait. I was waiting for an upside move off of this one earlier, but obviously we've seen that the United States dollar has gained strength, and because it's done showed me that it's inside of consolidation. To me, I'm gonna hold off and just sit on my hands on this one and kind of wait until it kind of breaks out of this area. My breakout positions are where I would look at being able to trade personally. We end up being that once the market breaks below 1955, I will look at being able to sell. Once the market ends up breaking above, the market ends up breaking above 1985, I'll look at being able to buy. Anywhere else inside of this area right here is a 33% chance of being able to win. So I'm not interested in being able to do anything for its gold right now until it actually breaks out of that area. I don't like trading in consolidation. That's just me personally. Um, but I hope that answers your question. Um, so we've been through the main pairs that we end up talking about all of the time. If there's no other pairs that anybody would like to be able to talk about, or matter of fact, I'm going to leave it up to y'all. If there are a pair that y'all would like to be able to talk about, I have a little bit of time left to be able to stay, and then after that, obviously, I'm going to get my boys ready to go to school. Um, but is there a pair that y'all would like to be able to talk about real quick if there's something out there? All right, now you're welcome. Okay. All right. With that being said, if you like what I end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on that boost button as it allows us to be able to grow. We're 8 people away from being able to hit 1,000 people following on TradingView, which is absolutely cool. Um, and we can be able to go from there. Are you doing this every day? Um, to be honest, I used to do it 4 days out of the week from 6:30 to 7 o'clock. We are getting towards the summer months, which makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to do it every day. Over the summer, I do it every day. During the school year, I typically just do it in the mornings, and then if there's certain days that I'm not able to do it, then you just won't see me. But yes, mainly from this time, 6:30 to 7 o'clock, we end up taking a look at trading opportunities to be able to get into. All right. But like what I ended up saying, if you like what I ended up doing, please make sure you end up clicking on that boost button or the subscribe button on YouTube. I appreciate each and every person being able to pop in. Or the people that will watch this a little bit later on, make sure that you end up commenting if you end up making money off of the US 30 pair that we end up talking about. Currently, we have 433 points on that one as well. So super happy for everyone that end up doing that. Like always, make sure that you end up planning your trade your plan. I'll see each and every one of y'all in the next video. Take it easy.